I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. This topic comes from my 30 plus years of business, sales, and freight moving success. Watch, learn, and apply it. You'll move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. And call me at 626-309-9141 with any questions. Now explode your business with... Guys, hello and welcome to my Tuesday training call. I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight sales training expert here in Southern California. Today, I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you make more money financially. And after the call today, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, read more of my blog posts, watch more of my videos, and while you're there, visit my freight sales success store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. And if you have any questions today, any questions regardless of what it is, or specifically, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training, then give me a call, Ted Keys. I'm at 626-309-9141. Today's training topic is mistakes you avoid in freight sales. Mistakes you avoid in freight sales. You can just imagine how many mistakes that you can make in this profession. I'm going to talk about the mistakes that you avoid as you're actually committing or actually doing the profession of making contact with the marketplace. So for those of you that are on my Gmail contact list, just scroll down to any one of those announcements, those email announcements that I sent you today to get on the call, and we're going to go over our attachments today. Those attachments are free, again, with the topic today of mistakes you avoid making, mistakes you avoid in freight sales. So let's talk about those mistakes. You can just imagine, I mean, let's face it, there are numerous mistakes that you can make in this profession. A lot of mistakes you can make while you're negotiating a rate. A lot of mistakes can be made while you're given, a driver instructions to pick up, giving your driver instructions to drop off, not emphasizing an appointment that should have been kept. These are specific mistakes that you make and that you're to avoid as you're connecting with your marketplace, connecting with your prospects, connecting with your future customers. So go ahead and open up that attachment again that I provided, and let's talk about mistakes you avoid in freight sales. Now, let me just start off by saying you don't have to walk on hot coals to unleash more power, all right? But you've got to take more action to actually multiply your freight sales. And there are many things that you must do right to move more loads, but there are also many things that you must avoid as you're making those connections with the marketplace, with your prospects, with your customers. I'm going to talk about five, okay? I'm going to share with you 5 mistakes that your goal is to avoid these as you're making contact with your prospects and customers. Now, will you avoid them right away? No, you won't. I mean, the best way that we learn in any profession is by making mistakes. And I'll say this, you will make these mistakes as you start off in this profession. The thing is, you make them less and less and less as you go along. As you make these mistakes, I'm just going to tell you right now, your prospects will know of your ability. They're going to know that you're a beginner, that you're a rookie, whatever you want to call it. And that's when prospects typically shy away because they know you're a beginner. If they're going to work with anybody, they're going to work with somebody that they feel confident with and they trust. However, as I said, as time goes on and you keep repeating, picking up the phone and connecting with the marketplace, you're going to make these mistakes less and less. However, just knowing that these 5 main ones that you avoid makes it that much better for you going in there. So let's talk about mistake number 1. Mistake number 1 to avoid is using a random connecting approach. Let me ask you this. Are you just getting on the phone and, talking to whoever, talks on the phone with you? Are you doing research on this company beforehand? Are you talking to the shipping decision maker? This is using a random approach. Are you just getting on the phone and winging it, just hoping that somebody gets on the phone and talk to you? Or, as I said earlier, are you talking to the shipping decision maker? That's using a random approach. How do you connect with your customer? Okay, what do you say? Always know exactly what you're going to say and what you're going to say next. Don't ever wing it. Okay, don't ever wing it. When you go into a call, okay, you're not just winging it. All right, you're not just getting on hoping that the shipping decision maker gets on and starts talking to you, and then you can tell them how great you are. Never use a random approach. Always know what you're going to say as you go into that call, knowing that you're going to talk to the shipping decision maker. You're not going to talk to whoever answers the call first. You're not going to just talk to the secretary. You're actually going to talk to the individual that makes the decisions and will make the decision to use you to move their freight eventually. So the first mistake you have to avoid is using a random connecting approach. When you make that call, you've got to have an idea, first of all, who they are, what they ship, okay? Is it going to be a company that ships boxes or cartons, or do they start off with a pallet, or do they move full truckloads? You have to have this in your mind, knowing that when you go into that call, they meet those initial requirements. Don't do it randomly, okay? So that's the first one, is to use a random connecting approach. Second mistake to avoid is not asking your prospects any questions, okay? Or certainly not asking the correct or the right questions. Don't worry about offending your prospects when you first get a hold of them, okay? Why? Because their business is your business. You've got to find out about their business and ask questions in the process to actually know whether you can assist them or not. If you're going to blow the deal, do it because you know that you're doing it correctly. Ask questions that require answers. And hey, if they feel you're being a little pushy, great. Then they hang up on you. Hey, you can always call them back in a week. But see, that's progress. That's progress that, there's a possibility that they hang up on you because you're being pushy. The only thing worse than not getting answers from customers is not even asking the correct questions. You must ask the correct questions. Do you want to ask the right questions? Well, then let me refer you to my Freight Sales Success Guide. Right there in the middle, I don't know what page it's on, but there is a document called the Sales Call Information Sheet. On that sheet are, let's call them beginner type questions that you would ask your prospect when you first get a hold of them. So not asking questions, not asking the right questions, not asking the proper questions, the most productive questions that you can ask is mistake number 2. Avoid mistake number 2, which is not asking prospects the right questions. Mistake number 3 is not receiving prospects' answers. So hey, mistake number 2 is not asking the right or proper questions. Number 3 is not getting the right answers, or at least an answer that you can make a decision from, because if there's one thing that you don't want to do is waste your time with a prospect. You don't want to go through all this time of getting to know them, and then you find out that, oh gee, all you do are you ship boxes or you ship cartons. As a freight agent, you've got to start off with a pallet. Don't get involved in like a carton or a box, okay? Don't get involved in those. If that's all they ship, then move on. Don't think that, hey, boy, I've got a prospect here that, and they want me to ship this, who knows, this game or whatever it is, all right? Just let those be. And by asking questions and getting the answers, then you know whether you will spend some time or develop a relationship with those types of customers. This is a massive problem for many freight sales agents. If you don't get answers from prospects, guys, then you won't move their freight. I mean, it's that easy to understand. If I can't control the asking of questions, main point here, and the receiving of answers, I'm in trouble. You must get answers to your questions to move forward. Here's an answer. You get objections, okay? Those are answers. If somebody objects to what you're saying, if they say, hey, I'm good, I don't deal with brokers, I'm good with my, I only use carriers, at least you're getting an answer. See, because an objective is an answer. But then when you get an objection, again, you just go back to my Freight Sales Success Guide to, first of all, the 10 most common freight sales objections, and that one answer that you give them, and that is, hey, I understand whenever you have to look for another truck, do you keep your options open to other carriers? You see, because they gave you an objection, you can come back with the answer to that objection. That's a good thing that you're getting objections, because all you have to do is come back with the answer. But if you're not even getting that at all, you don't know which way to go with this prospect or this future customer. Let's go on to, so that was mistake number 3 to avoid, and that is not getting prospects answers to your questions. And again, if they're avoiding you, you've got to be a little stern, you've got to be a little forthright and say, hey, could you just answer my question for me? It's always better, and hey, say they hang up on you, it's always better knowing that you tried, okay, knowing that you attempted to get the answer, than not getting anything at all, okay? Fourth mistake to avoid is jumping forward to your price. I won't just say jumping forward to your price, but also jumping forward, letting them know how great you are or how great your service is. Jumping forward to your price. Don't go to price before determining if your freight service will even satisfy your prospect's shipping requirements. Again, it all goes back to answering questions and getting answers. You can't just delve into price if you don't even know if you can service this prospect or not. Don't put the cart before the horse, and that's what you do when you just delve into price right away or start asking about their lanes. You've got to find out if what you service, what you provide, will even be a good mix for them. Hey, you have dry vans, okay? You provide dry vans, you provide flatbeds, you provide reefers. They have bulk loads, not just bulk loads, but liquid bulk loads. How are you going to fit bulk liquid into a dry van? That's why you have to ask those questions initially. And again, when you get to that point of finding out what they do, what they provide, price is not going to be an issue, because if they say, hey, do you have liquid bulk containers, and you have no clue on what that is, well, then it's time to move on. Or if you want to start doing research on what a liquid bulk container is. However, if you're here's a great word of advice. Just starting off in this profession, just stick to the 3 main trailer types. Stick to the 3 main trailer types: dry vans, flatbeds, and reefers. And you're going to get that as you go along and make contact with the marketplace. Some of these prospects are going to throw these curveballs at you, all right? They're going to ask you for, do you do bulk? Do you do ocean shipping? Do you do air cargo? It's best to just stick with those 3, all right? Don't get excited because somebody asked you a request like that. And here's the thing. They're going to ask you because they've got this challenging load. And typically it is a challenging load. If they're saying, hey, I've got to ship this pallet by air, all right? It's typically because nobody else has been able to assist them. They're not going to the right person or the right individual, the right agent for that type of service. Don't get all excited because, hey, this guy asked me to assist them with this, to ship this container overseas over water. Just stick with dry vans, stick with reefers, stick with flatbeds. That will get you into the, once you move load after load after load of that type of commodity, then you can start getting into these other things. But again, getting back to what I was saying, jumping forward to your price, avoid that mistake. You've got to find out first that your freight service provides the requirement for your prospect. So again, just a little quick review here, 5 mistakes to avoid. The first one is using a random connecting approach. Second one is not asking your prospects the right or proper questions. Third one is not receiving proper or correct answers that from your prospects that you can actually use to make a decision. Fourth thing is jumping forward to your price. Again, you can't jump forward to your price if you don't even know if you can service them to begin with. The fifth mistake to avoid is being mechanical. And I'm going to say this right now, all these are a skill. These are all skills that you have to learn over time. But the fifth one is the most routine one. Why? Because when we're calling our prospects, we know what to do. But those skills are just not ingrained in our mindset yet, and we have a tendency to act mechanical, especially when it comes to reading a script. Hey, you can have a script in front of you, but you have to be as natural as you possibly can. Even as I'm giving you this, doing this training call with you right now, I have all these notes in front of me. But what I'm doing is I'm doing my absolute best to make this look like a natural call. Like all the information that I'm giving you is right off the top of my mind. Yeah, I am getting a lot of the what I'm sharing with you. A lot of it comes from the notes that I have and the attachments that I provide. So the goal is to not be mechanical, to be natural. Act as natural as you can. Act as if you've done this calling routine over and over again. When you're learning something new, as I said, it's not fluid, it's awkward, so it takes training. It takes training and repetition. To get fluid requires repetition. As I just said before, you don't want to be rigid and robotic, okay? Being great in freight sales takes practice, and you must role play numerous scenarios over and over and over again. So again, just going over those 5 mistakes again, and that is using a random calling approach. Second one is not asking your prospects the proper and correct questions. The third one is not getting the proper and correct answers to your questions. The fourth one is the mistake is jumping too quickly into price or jumping too quickly into you and how great you are. And I can tell you this, they don't care. What they care about is themselves and how you can assist them. The fifth one is being mechanical. And again, that fifth one, or all of these, they all take time to overcome. It's repetition over and over and over again. Getting on the phone, connecting and building relationships with the marketplace. That's the thing that assists you in overcoming these mistakes that most freight sales agents make initially. To wrap it up, guys, let me just say this. To become great in sales, you must know the sales game. The lack of commitment to freight sales is the biggest missing ingredient in freight sales agents getting what they desire in life. It's that lack of commitment, committing to getting on the phone day after day after day. You must develop these skills because you aren't born with them. You're not born with anything. The only thing you're born with is the ability to eat, the ability to go to the bathroom, okay, and the ability to sleep and cry. That's about all you're born with. You've got to learn these skills over time, and it's the great freight sales agents, the great freight sales brokers that have done this over and over again, that have developed these skills that makes them a great one. If you don't train continually and improve over time, you'll make mistakes and you'll miss freight sales. It's that simple. Great topic today. Again, mistakes you are to avoid in this freight sales profession. Again, great topic. Thanks again for joining me today on my Tuesday training call. I'll see you all again next Tuesday, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time on my Tuesday training call. Take care. God bless. I'll see you all again next Tuesday. Bye-bye. When you arrive at my Freight Sales Success Store today, you'll see a host of products available there for purchase. First one you'll see available is my flagship product. That is my Freight Sales Success Guide, typically for beginner and struggling freight agents. If you're searching for that daily motivation to set goals, to achieve them, to pick up the phone daily and connect and build relationships with the marketplace, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Quotes. And if you're searching for those specific skills, and there are many skills, many individual skills required to be successful in this profession, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Skill. I highly recommend each one of these products, available for purchase today in my Freight Sales Success Store. Do you have any questions again? Do you have any questions about today's call? Or more importantly, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training? Then give me, Ted Keys, a call. I'm at 626-309-9141. Great topic for today. Take these skills, apply them. You'll be amazed at what happens to your results.